Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reclaimed Ranch. My name is Tara, and today I have a new release from Connie from the Painted Photographer. She has her fall and winter release out, so I'm excited to show you guys that. And so we're going to show you, I think I have 11 new images, and so we'll show you those, and then we'll get on to the projects using these beautiful rice papers. So this first one is called Snowy Man, and we've got four little quadrants of him. Look at how sweet and precious is he. It reminds me of Frosty. I don't know if there we go. And then this one is called Jolly Snowman. He's super cute. So on this one I have the full image, the full page. He's just so sweet. And then also the quad page of him, so you can get multiple projects. And then she's got this winter lantern. It is so pretty. I love this one. And she's got, of course, her signature Connie lines on there. If you don't know what the Connie lines are, they're these crazy little wispy lines that she puts in all of her images, her paintings, and all the splatters, and just makes it fun and whimsical. So I have the full size of that, and then I have the multiples, which has the 3. So it's a little bit bigger one and then 2 smaller ones. And then this one is called Twin Sunflowers. This is great for fall. Very pretty. And she uses the colors of the DIY paint line to paint her images. And then she makes her own rice papers. So I love that. So and then I also have the multiple in that one. This one is my favorite. My favorite for this release. I love this one. It's the snow globe with a cute snowman in there. Look at how beautiful this is. I love this one. And then I also have the multiples on that one. So I'm probably going to be using one of these today. And then she's got a couple of different snowflake options. So this one's called Snowflake. And it's one big snowflake. It's really pretty. And then she's got, it's called a snowflake background. So it has more different styles of snowflakes, which I love. Very pretty. And then I love this one too. This is called Shelly, and it's this cute little snail on some mushrooms. Look at that. How cute. What a perfect name for a snail. I think it's adorable. And then I also have the multiples in that one as well. So you can find these on my website. And under the rice decoupage papers, or I believe I have Connie's lines and designs on there as well. So this is called Pumpkin Stack with Spiders. Perfect for Halloween and the fall. I love this one too. Super cute. So I have that big one, and then of course the multiples on that, so you can get different projects out of it. And then this is called Leah's Father Christmas. This one's really cool too. I love like the vintage look she gave to him. Very cool. So I can see some projects definitely coming out of this one. And the multiples. And this one's called Gone Batty. And of course we have some bats. But yeah, if you have like Halloween decor that you want to do, these are perfect to fit in there. And then I do have the multiple of that one for smaller projects as well. And then this one is so sweet, especially the story behind it. I don't know that I can actually share that story because it's her own personal story, but it tugged at my heart a little bit. So this is called Daddy's Girl, and it's this beautiful angel holding a gorgeous wreath. but I love this one. And then I did get the multiples of that as well. So there's all of the new designs for the new fall winter release. So I will have those up on my website at thereclaimedranch.com for you guys to order if you're interested. And let's get into some projects using these. So the first project, I had this vase that I had put a stamp on, and it didn't sell in the store for a long time, so I just removed it out, and I had tested that corner to see if the alcohol would remove it, and it did. So I went ahead and just sprayed the whole thing with 91% alcohol, took a baby wipe, and it came right off. So we are going to redo this one, and I'm using Fusion's Victorian lace. I'm just going to go over that spot where that stamp was because you can still kind of see a light outline of it. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to come through on the decoupage. So this is that Leah's Father Christmas from Connie Lines and Designs, and I'm just using the water method to go around it, and then I will tear it out so I get that nice organic rough outline. And then we're going to decoupage him on and kind of paint and blend in around him. So I always use the Fusion Decoupage Transfer Gel. I like how thick it is. Everybody has their own mediums. You can use Mod Podge, you can use liquid patina from DIY. There's all kinds of different mediums that you can use. So just going in, and this vase does have like it's kind of like a rippled texture in it already. So I'm just making sure to get that decoupage down in all those little dips and divots in there. So I always do the decoupage medium on the top as well to make sure to kind of push those air bubbles out since it's a round surface. And then I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to use Fusion's putty, and I'm going to pour some in a cup, and then I'm going to use the salt wash to make it a nice thick textured surface. So I love this stuff. It does really well as far as hiding blemishes. If there's like little chips and cracks in some pieces that you might have, you can use this textured mixture to cover those up. And so, not that this vase has that, but just to kind of give you a tip on that. And I'm going to mix it in really well, and then the first coat I'm just going to paint. I started to stipple, but then I'm like, nope, we're just going to slap some paint on, and it's just basically to hide the white underneath. And then I'm going to go back in after it dries, and I'm going to stipple, like pounce up and down, and that's going to give me that really nice textured pottery look. And so you can either do a really thick, chunky look, or what I like to do is I like to keep pouncing over the same spot until I get a nice small, very thin, fine texture. But everybody has their differences, and some people like the really chunky look. But with this piece, I just wanted a nice fine. So this is that stippling, where you just pounce up and down, and I keep going over and over the same area until I get the look that I'm going for. And then I did not let this dry before I went in with my next color because I wanted it to blend in. And we're going to be using Fusion's Hazelwood, and that's going to really bring out the color of the paper of the Santa. So you just take a little bit, you stipple it in, and keep working it and keep working it, and it will continue to blend. And then I did this all the way around, just one coat, and then I let that completely dry, and that really blended in that Santa paper, because from here that putty was a little too bright. The Santa has more of like a smoky look to it around it. So this is giving me that beautiful smoky effect, which I really, really like. So I wanted to bring in a little bit more of that red from that Santa, so I'm going to go in with Fusion's Highlander, and I'm just going to kind of pounce it on just the rim, and that's going to give me enough to kind of tie this whole piece together. So what I plan on doing is putting a little bit of styrofoam down in the base and then putting a Christmas tree in it. And I hope the second time around will definitely sell a lot faster. So let me know what you guys think. This second project, I found this little Ray Dunn Christmas tree. It says Mary on it. And I like the stand. It's a metal tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tape off the stand since it's already a nice wood tone color. And once I get that all taped off, then I'm going to paint just the front side of the tree. We're going to decoupage a little snowman on there. And I think he just turns out super cute. But I'm going to be using the Fusion paint to do a couple coats so that we get that nice base underneath, and he's just too cute. So we're going to go in with the Fusion's putty, and because of the coloring around the trees and the snowman, it is kind of like the putty color. I thought it would be a little bit easier to blend him in instead of using like a pure white base. So I always think of that on my projects. If I'm going to blend in the ends, try to pick a color that's light enough, but also a color that's going to help blend in a lot easier to your decoupage paper. Because you don't always have to have just a white base. It's just you need a lighter base to make those colors pop. So that's what I'm going to be using here. So I did 2 coats of this putty, and then I went ahead and decoupaged on my little snowman. And of course he didn't fit completely around the tree, but the edges of the decoupage that was hanging over. Now I did not use my normal technique with my little sander. You'll see here, I've seen it done before, and I was making sure to have the decoupage wet enough, but I did use the fire method to go ahead and get into all the nooks and crannies of the tree outline there, because I figured my little sander wouldn't fit into those little areas. So once I decoupage it, I make sure it was really wet. Here I am going in with another coat. And then I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to light the edges that are dry. And that's going to go in and get all the areas right up to the tree. It'll just burn it right off. So if you're scared to do this, you can do it over a sink or what have you. But I figured I had enough of that decoupage medium on there that it really wasn't going to get out of control. So no need for the fire department. But I just go around and I get it as close as I can to the edges. And then it does leave your burn mark, that black, but I went ahead and just painted over that. So some projects that are rustic, you may want to have that burn color. Makes a nice cool effect. But yeah, this is just an interesting way if you have little tiny nooks and crannies that you normally can't get into sand. This is definitely a good way to get in there and have that nice clean edge from your decoupage paper. So for my star, I'm going to go in with my metallic gold color of Fusion, and I'm going to just paint a star on the top there. Now, this gold is definitely
very bright. Some people may like that, but I like mine to be more kind of vintage, toned down. So when that dried, I went in with my metallic vintage gold, and I went in over the top of that. So I really like the gold, the regular gold undertone, and I wanted it to kind of shine through. Otherwise, I would have just done 2 coats of the vintage gold, but I wanted that star to really pop. And so now I'm going to go in and kind of just blend in the edges where the paper was. And I went in with some of the green to kind of pull that tree line down just a little bit. And with some of the paint, I kind of took some of those tree ends off. You can see on the bottom there where I'm painting, the tree ends are kind of cut off. So I'm just going to kind of bring those back in, and Connie always does her Connie lines, is what they're called. And she does these little squiggly things, like outlines. And so I just did that to the tree, and it looked really cool. And so this third project, I had this little wooden sleigh down in my basement for probably a couple years. So I figured, okay, time to get them out. And so I went in with my Fusion White Victorian lace, gave it a good 2 coats, and I am using my favorite design of her new release. So I'm going to be using that little snowman globe, and I'm going to put him on here. And then he fits most of that middle part, you can see there. So I just had to kind of blend in the top and the bottom. So I'm going to use of course, my transfer gel. And with this being such a bigger piece of paper, I am going to use my mister bottle to get it wet. And that really helps open the fibers of the paper, make it more pliable. And it also helps with pushing those air bubbles out. So Sonnet uses this method, and Royce actually teaches this method from Recycled Treasures. She has her own decoupage line, and so it does actually really help. Although rice papers are easier in that sense where they don't have as many bubbles and creases and things like that. It's just a different type of paper that allows it to be more pliable. So I think he's so cute. I just love this paper. So we're going to decoupage him on, and then I'm going to let him dry. And for him, I am going to go ahead and use my sanding method to get the extra off. But since the corners are rounded down at the bottom, I did take my scissors and kind of cut into, you can see here, cut into those areas so that I could fold that decoupage down and get a nice seal on that. So that's another thing. If you have odd shaped pieces, you can always take your scissors and cut to make it easier to fold down. And I forgot to video when this completely dried, I did take an X-Acto knife and cut down those little lines there in the sleigh, and then I pushed my decoupage medium down to kind of get those to go down in those line holes. So I am going to go in with the color Hey Sailor from DIY, because Connie does use the DIY line to paint her images. So his scarf and the top of his hat has a little bit of this color in there. So I am going to do the entire base, that Hey Sailor. I'm going to bring that blue in. And then what I'm going to do with the top part is with that white base, I'm going to go over, I'm not sure what color I used, but I think it might have been the putty again. And I'm just going to put like a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to do dry brush strokes to make it kind of like a light wood texture on that top part. And then we're going to put some embellishments with some greenery and some little snowflakes at the end. So I'll let you listen to some music and enjoy the process. So I'm almost finished here, and I'm going to just place another little snowflake down in the middle on the bottom. And I may go back and add a little bit of blue, a hint of blue to the rusty snowflakes to kind of tie them in a little bit better. But I'm using this macrame cord for the little string on the top. And of course, I tried to fit in there. I'm like, nope, that's not going to work. So what I did was I grabbed the biggest needle that I had, and I put it through the end as good as I could. It only went halfway. But this is just a trick only to get it through that hole. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie it off on each end. And I did that same thing for the other side. And then this guy is complete. What do you guys think? Definitely my favorite for the day is this guy. I just think he turned out super, super cute and would be a cute little accent to like a front porch or even just in the home. But I think I'm going to try and resell him, and we'll see how it goes. So let me know what your guys' favorite was, and I will be back on Tuesday with some more thrift flips. I need to go shopping. I'm actually down in my basement looking, and I'm like, wow, I have not a whole lot of stuff anymore, which is great. So I'll probably do some thrifting this weekend, and we'll do some fun projects for Tuesday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you then, guys. Bye.